Jig fucking Saw. I said it like that because that's an actual line from the movie. There's this one scene where somebody's talking about the murders, and they're basically saying that it's Jigsaw, and she just says with no fucking inflection in her voice, whatever, or whatsoever, just saying it in the most mechanical way possible. She just says Jig fucking Saw, and I wish that I could do a good impression of that, but I naturally inflect with my voice, so that's fucking difficult for me. Anyway, Jigsaw is a 2017 horror film and the 8th film in the Saw franchise, and it's a sequel as well as a reboot for the franchise, which the franchise lessened in popularity with each film being released. 10 years after the death of the Jigsaw killer, John Kramer, as well as many years after the last set of his games, a new string of murders start popping up, and they're all resembling the way that Jigsaw operated. So now the question is it a copycat, or could John Kramer really be back from the dead? First off, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is one of the worst films I've seen all year. It may even be the worst film I've seen all year, because I'm going to skip over the characters and the performances because you aren't even given enough to care about any of them. They're all written to basically be shitty, uninteresting people. And this is the worst acted movie I've seen all year. Everybody does a fucking terrible job. The film doesn't try anything new from a narrative standpoint. It's basically the same as the past few movies. You get the torture victims sections, then you get the police investigation sections, and then you get the third act where there's some kind of big or small reveal that, and you're basically shown how everything came to be and how everything's gonna go from there. And because these new filmmakers didn't even really try or think to spice up the narrative, or at least do it in a way that feels new even for the Saw franchise, it just makes Jigsaw come across as a simple cash grab. One thing that I was hoping for was that the film would actually go back to that psychological horror thriller element that the original film had, and that you could kind of feel in the next two sequels after that one. But they really didn't. It still feels like torture porn, only they don't do it as over the top as they used to. It's kind of mediocre. There is a reveal at the end of the film that when it happens, me personally, I thought, oh, wow, this could actually work. Okay, what will they do with it? And they completely botch it within, I counted 3-4 seconds. The traps themselves aren't even interesting, and yeah, actually, I thought I would be able to go on and elaborate a little bit further, but I got nothing. If you're a fan of the Saw franchise, just as a whole, you may actually enjoy it. You know, seriously, go out and enjoy it. Because if you can actually enjoy this, hey, good on you. It's just not for me. But if you prefer the larger amounts of torture porn and blood and gore that the later films had, like I think it was Saw 4 through 7. I think those are the more gory ones. Like, it wasn't really focusing on a narrative, just more of the gore and torture and shit. You will actually be disappointed in this movie because there's really not that much blood and gore compared to the other films. I'm going to give Jigsaw a Tommy Wiseau.
I did not hit her. It's not true. It's bullshit. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
As I always say whenever I give that rating, if you're not familiar with that reference, just check out the movie called The Room. It's one of the worst movies ever made, but it's so bad, it's hilarious. Just try it out. And yeah, I figured that this review would be quick because there wasn't really anything to this movie. But that'll do it for me today. Please subscribe if you haven't already for more reviews and content. And as always, thank you so much for watching, and farewell until the next video. Bye, guys.